Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the M44, it's the Tier 6 American SPG. This one's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of Citron01 and it's a 3 replay video. Yes, we've got 3 replays coming up featuring the same vehicle on different maps. Well, the M44, designed after the war, in fact actually does appear in the film Pattern, and of course that was set during World War II, but of course it didn't exist back then. It was still a jewel or dream in somebody's eye, but yes, it is post-war, not during the Second World War. I'm not sure why he was doing that. He was actually looking back at his spawn point. Okay, it's got a 155mm howitzer, which is capable of doing, or used to be capable of doing 550 alpha. Now it does 500 alpha with standard HE rounds, and penetrates 39mm. With the special ammo, it will do 600, and with the armor piercing rounds, it will do 360. Okay, target's an AMD 178B. Rounds out. No, you managed to fool him there. Ready to go again. The reload time is actually fairly quick, 17.7 seconds, but it used to be a lot less than that. The standard reload now is 22.05 by the book, but 17.77 if you can get the rammer, good crew, and use premium consumables, and yes, he is using that. So yes, they've effectively put 2 seconds onto the reload time of the M44. That's what they did to nerf it. A serious nerf actually, considering if you'd said to other people, we're going to add 2 seconds to your reload time, they'd be screaming that it was unfair for Wargaming to do that, because they didn't do that to any other Arty other than the M44. They singled out the M44. Why? Because the streamers and the community contributors particularly picked off or were angry at the M44. They were really annoyed. In fact, you know that players like Circon and the like specified that the M44 was grossly unfair because it could do so much damage so quickly. But yes, it's certainly not fair for the M44 to be handicapped, but we still try to do our best even so. I think there's only so much tolerance though that Arty players have for Wargaming's nerfs, and the result of that last nerf on Arty has meant that most Arty players now, or virtually all of them, won't pay for anything from Wargaming. They've effectively become non-paying customers, which means obviously Wargaming is not going to earn all the premium that they used to get from from Arty players. Now there's a little hint here. If you notice the fences behind there, he fired a round into that corner, because if you could see it for a brief moment, you could see that the fence had been knocked down behind the little hill, and that meant somebody's gone into that spotting position, sitting up there on that bush. And if you notice the fence been knocked down behind but not in front, then you know somebody's there, or at least you can guess that somebody's there and get a blind shot in. I always use that as a good indicator. Look for any of the scenery that's been knocked down by the enemy when they moved into a position. Okay, heavy tank number 6, you're about to get shelled. And he gets a nice little hit there for 200 it's 181 actually from the standard round. And he got a follow-up round somebody else fired in, so he's picked up 275 hit points of stun assist. Oh, we noticed where the enemy Arty is, and the heavy tank number 6 died. Yep, enemy Arty is in grid square A2. Our team haven't moved that much forward. We do have somebody up on the hill to stop them moving across that. Rounds out the Panther. Direct hit for 196. He's changing position this time. It's always worth changing position nowadays because so many Arty players are now counter-battering the moment they spot the tracer coming from the enemy Arty. Admittedly, Citron did focus on the enemy Arty when he spotted that tracer, or if he spotted that tracer from grid square A2, but I actually do make a point of looking for that tracer. If I do spot where they are, I might just try and take them out. We just saw that tracer again, and in fact actually in quite a few battles so far I've actually counter-batteried and taken out the enemy Arty, the sole enemy Arty, very quickly on in the game, and as a result given my team an easy win. There's two Arty on either side in this game. I think we just noticed where one of the enemy Arty is as well, but yeah, unfortunately one of them just killed our M44 the M44 did. So it must be the GW that's further back, and the M44 is a lot closer. He got another hit, this time for 202. He's not changing position that much though. He's only going backwards and forwards a little. Now in the past I used to say that would be enough to fool the enemy, but now it's not, I'm afraid. You definitely need to move and have some side components into your changing position. He gets another direct hit, this time on the M44, and the enemy's lost their AMD 178B. You'd be surprised the number of battles I've had where the enemy has tried to counter-battery me because I keep moving, they keep missing, and as a result I end up better off. It's very funny when the enemy does try to counter-battery you and you keep changing position. You see their shells go in and miss, and even if you haven't got the early sound detection warning, there's you can see the fences down behind the bush. Rounds out. It looks to me fairly good that there was somebody there. He's not picking up any results from it, but I'm pretty sure something was there. Yes, it's very satisfying if you haven't got sound detection fully loaded onto your crew yet. So if you haven't got the skills set yet, so you've got it. Of course, that gives you those detection, the visual detection showing that you are being targeted the moment the enemy fires. But of course, if you don't get that, you can hear the rumble from an enemy Arty when they do fire. If they are firing in your direction, you hear that rumble and then you can move quick. So even if you don't actually know if the shell is directly aimed at you, it's worth taking note of that rumble and then moving. Now he's expecting a T25-2. It's going to be somewhere just around the corner. He's trying to help the Viz, telling him he's going to support. I think that T25-2 with a 90mm gun could do some serious damage to the guy, and he's got a KV-13 ahead of him as well. Okay, we could hit the KV-13. Okay, rounds out, looks good. Direct hit, 173. Second hit also got him, so we got some stun assist. 25-2 has not come around the corner. Now, where did that T25-2 go? He is taking damage now, though. There's the T25-2. Okay, he did come around the corner. He's backed up, actually, to try and get a shot on our Viz. And we splash him for 50. And there's another hit. That's a big one. That looks like that was a penetrating round. And the T25-2, we picked that from stun assist, actually, we got from that shot. Rounds out the KV-13. He changed course, so we missed him. Okay, goes to the KV-13 straight away. He's gone. Surprisingly, the score's still even both sides. Going back up to this bush again. You can see that fence down, which shows that something's got to be there. Again, there is an explosion, which means obviously that something was there but was moved, because otherwise we would have seen the... well, actually, we didn't see the explosions the last time because he actually pulled away after he shot, didn't he? Now, he's looking for where the Arty was last seen, or rather where we saw the tracer coming from, and he's now just testing the water by firing at the most obvious places. Let's go, the T-25's getting close, and he's looking at the tree line now. Okay, we've got a VK3002D. Oh, so 3001, sorry. Unfortunately, that shell didn't hit clone, so... But the VK's gone. The Skoda's got to the other end, but he's found an SU-152, so now we can really help that Skoda. Okay, line him up ahead, that's it. Work out where he's going. A bit more, that's it. He's changing course quite a lot. It's going after our heavy tank number 6 now. No. And you can see both enemy Arty are now focusing on the Skoda T-25. He's screaming help. We've lost sight of the SU-152, but I reckon he's actually going near those rocks so he can shoot at the Skoda without return fire. Looks like this battle is going to go the whole way. The SU-152's in sight now. Skoda's seen him. That's it. Bring the aim onto him. Line him up. Well, stunned him anyway. And he did manage to get a couple of shots in. We can see the Arty are now focusing on the heavy tank number 6 as well. And unfortunately, the Skoda can't see the SU-152 anymore. Where are you? I know you're around there somewhere. Churchill's taking fire from somebody. There's still 7 enemies out there, 6 enemies out there rather. Nice hit on the Jagdpanzer IV. He's gone. The kill shot actually went to our other M44. But the Churchill is now a one-shot. And he's gone. Taken out by their Viz-44-1. So he must be further up the line. In fact, we've seen on the minimap where he was last spotted. This game looks like it's going to run out of time.
Moving in to support you.
Thanks a lot.
Dick and Max has moved up to try and get some shots. This is getting right down to the wire. 2-minute hooter has been sounded. Trouble is, Dickomax doesn't have much in the way of armour. If he gets spotted, it's going to be deadly. And we just saw Tracer. It looks to me like the enemy Arty has actually gone right up against the west edge of the map. The SU-152 has just been killed by the Dickomax. I'm not sure if he was seen. Oh, he's found the Viz. The Viz-44-1, he's low on hit points, rounds out. And he's killed by the Dickomax. And I think we just saw the Tracer from one of the enemy Arty in the bushes at the back. The VK's been spotted. He's been hit by the Dickomax. There's the M44 over on the far west side. And there's one over on the middle as well. VK takes another hit. The other M44's gone down. There's the SU-8. Oh, it's an SU-8, not a M44. And he's dead, and that is the end of the game. So with only 40 seconds left on the clock, it's over and it's a victory. Here's the end of battle results from the first game, and that was an ace tanker game for Citron01 in the M44. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 12 in total, And he got a Confederate medal because he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by old teammates or other teammates. And he didn't get a single kill in that game, but I think that actually assisted him to get the Confederate. Let's have a look at team score. Well, when it came to damage, he didn't get the highest of that, which actually went to the Challenger with 2,735 hit points. He got a high caliber and a Pascucci's medal in that game, as well as a Phaeton's medal. Apparently, he must have got the last kill of the game with his last round of ammunition. Very nice for him. The second highest damage in the game went to the Dicamax with 1,992. It was particularly brave because Dicamaxes don't have much in the way of armour, and he went forward nonetheless to try and find the enemy, and he did and got 3 kills out of it. And the third highest damage went to Citron01 with 1,975. When it came to kills, it was the Challenger who shared the top spot with the Dicamax. Both of them had 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Heavy Tank number 6, the Skoda T25, the Churchill 7, and the Su-152, the Jagdpanzer 4, and the Su-8 on the enemy team. And you can see that Citron01 didn't get any kills at all. When it came to base XP, it was Citron01 who got the most. 1,203 because he got a lot of stun assists. 1,047 went to Dicamax, 999 went to the Challenger. He fired 23 rounds in that game, got 6 direct hits, no penetration but 18 splash. Damage of 1,975 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but he got 104 hit points of damage assistance, plus 1,813 hit points of stun assist off 18 stuns, and that's basically what gave him the ace tanker. 37,196 credits from the battle, 16,738 from battle payments, a total of 72,532. And after resupply of ammunition and consumables, and yes, he did use premium consumables. I usually buy it when it's cheap, when it's half price. I buy up loads of it at the same time, spend millions of credits to stock up on premium consumables at that time. And from that point on, it becomes very cheap to make a profit, very easy, because you don't get this figure popping up all the time to resupply consumables. And therefore, obviously, you pick up a lot more in the way of profit. But obviously, you get it off the back end because, of course, you do have to spend a lot on those premium consumables at one moment. 1,203 XP actually took away 1,805 experience points altogether. So there's something there that what replays is not mentioning. So that's the first of the battles. Let's have a look at the second one. The second replay is on the north spawn of Steps. Okay, game started. Reverse speed of an M44 is only 14 kilometers an hour, but its forward speed is 56.3. So I think he probably could have turned around, driven into this position, and turned around again by the time he comes to a halt. Okay, he's ready to shoot, and he's now aiming towards the enemy. Okay, tree went down on the hill on the east side of the map. That's normally because somebody's in residence. So he fires around him just to see if he can wake them up. And I reckon that probably did warn somebody that, yes, if you park in that position, do expect to get hit. We've got a T-34-85 coming amongst the rocks on the west side of the map. We've got a couple of defenders. He's anticipating he's going behind those bushes. Again, that's a fairly good guess. Because that bush there, that particular bush, you can double bush if you're looking at tanks that are defending in that corner. So it actually pays to be behind the bush line further back, not the one forward. Lost all sight of the enemy over this side. Usual complaint is that people aren't spotting for you. Fires around at the T25 too and gets 14 hit points. We can see there's a Skoda T25 there now. Apparently there's 3 of those on the enemy team. There's a lot of Czech tanks about at the moment because obviously everyone's working towards their the new line, the new tech tree. Now, something that he did just then, Citron01, is he came out of aim view immediately after he fired so he can move, but I have to give the same warning I gave to all players who do that. Yeah, he did get a hit for 225 on the Viz44-1. If you move away from a target so you don't let us see what actually happens to the shell, then we won't do your videos, because of course they're just not interesting to watch unless you actually see what happens to the shell. Rounds out. Hits. Viz44-1 takes the round. The one bit closer. Oh, another one's turned up. Lots of them bound. Rounds out. Hits the near one. 200. Getting a lot of requests, or he's hitting the button multiple times. And unfortunately, we just lost the Rudy. Ouch. Going for the near one. Rounds out. Good hit. And he's picking up plenty of stun assist as well. You can see there he's got, well, 2/3 of the mission that he was after, which is, I think that's SPG-15 Warbots. Now going for the T-34 Constructor. 209 hit points, non-penetrating. Remember, the alpha is still 500 on these now. Dropped to 500. Super Hellcat. Didn't fire. Oh no, he's re-aiming. Working out where the guy's going. That Super Hellcat's about to die, I think. He's only got 14 hit points left. But he actually chooses not to shoot. And instead is looking over to the west side of the map. Strip 74 comes into view. Rounds out. Good hit, 226. Hit the front of the vehicle. Unfortunately, we lost the SU-100. Okay, and the enemy is now coming over, but they're being ambushed by our T-34-100. Strip 74 takes a hit, a big hit for 233. I say big hit, but it used to be you could actually penetrate them. What have we got over here? A Hellcat, Super Hellcat, and unfortunately we just lost our Skoda T25, and we're down to just 3 tanks on our team now. Rounds out on the Super Hellcat, and a hit, 193. Well, it's down to just 2 now, the Super Hellcat and Citron, and that's it. His team have been thoroughly trashed by this enemy. Composed mostly of Czech tanks, since the new tech trees on the system. Of course, everyone wants to get the next one up the scale, and he's been spotted. The constructor saw him. And you can hear Arty firing in this direction, and Arty just killed the Super Hellcat, and now he's manually aiming at this Skoda. Just unloaded 3 shells into us, but he hits him back for 259. He raises his gun, and the other Skoda kills him. Well, despite this being a defeat and only a 3rd class tanker, this was the 3rd mark of excellence for Citron01 in the M44. He did manage to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9, and he did get a lot of damage as well, even though I'm afraid his team lost. He got the most damage on his team, 1,908 hit points of damage. The next highest scorer only had 1,736, and that was the Super Hellcat. On the enemy team, they had the high caliber on this one. It was their T-34-85, got 2,966 hit points. 2,618 went to the Viz44-1, and after that it came Citron01 with his 1,900. So he was 3rd on damage overall, but highest on damage on his own team. When it came to kills in this game, it was the Super Hellcat got the most. He got 3 kills. 2 kills went to the Constructor, the T25, the T-34-85, the Strip 74, and the Viz44-1. And all the rest of their team, I've got 1 kill or nothing. And we can see here Citron01 got no kills whatsoever. When it came to base XP, it's the enemy team again with T-34-85 getting 1,287. the Viz44-1 getting 1104, and then after that it's Citron01 with not is it? No, it's not Citron01. What I was saying, it's the T3485 with 796. Citron01 managed 533 from that one, so it puts him a little way down the table. Yes, you're looking at is it 4, 7? He's 8th place on XP. Okay, let's have a look at detail. 13 shots fired, 9 direct hits, no penetration but 11 splash. Damage of 1,908 hit points, of which 1,649 were at more than 300 meters. 4 hits received, 3 penetrations, 1 non-penetrations. Well, the M44 doesn't have much in the way of armor, so just about anything that hits it is going to go through. And in fact, the non-penetration shot was probably a hit into the tracks. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, no kills, 416 hit points of damage assistance, plus 1,193 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. He earned 30,217 credits from that game, got 13,598 from battle payments, a total of 58,924 altogether, and after repair, ammunition, resupply and consumables, took away a profit of 30,274 credits. 533 XP and 800 to take away, so there must be something that What Replays is not telling us about, but he did get his 3rd mark, and once you've got that on the barrel it stays there forever regardless of what happens in other games. So let's have a look at the 3rd replay and see how he gets on in that one. The 3rd replay is on Pearl River, and he's got that newly adorned 3rd mark on the barrel and the Stars and Stripes colour scheme to go with it. Yep, proudly showing that he's got a 3rd mark of excellence. Kind of an open position to be firing from though. Not sure I'd be so keen to fire from here, but the thing is that I'm not so sure that any of the enemy Arty are going to be looking in this direction either, simply because it's just a very unusual spot to shoot from. Okay, you can get rounds into the enemy, come around that corner. I prefer to be slightly over to the east, because from there you can actually shoot at the enemy tanks, even if they happen to be hiding just around the corner. And they show themselves on the corner to try and shoot at our guys. You then lob a shell at them and it really upsets them. Okay, enemy T-76, or no, T-78 actually, spotted over on the other side of the battlefield in the paddy fields. Okay, they're stationary. Fires one in, unfortunately moves out of the way, and yeah, he shakes his reticule. As well he might actually. Yeah. Be quite nice to get a shell between those two. Rounds out. Oh, he didn't let us see it. It must have landed right next door to him. Yeah, again, he's doing the naughty thing. He's not letting us see what actually happens to the shell. And yeah, being so far forward has actually now worked to be against him. Counterproductive, because the T-3485 came round the corner and saw him. And now the enemy RT knows where he is, and I'm taking control of the aiming here to try and give us a good picture of what's he's doing. Oh, direct hit on the T-78, wiped him out. That was a pen. He did 429 hit points of damage from one shot. Okay, he's now trying to aim towards the enemy in that the village lane, or the central lane. Unfortunately, the enemy has broken through, except for one tank holding them up. And there's that VK-3002 who's sitting behind that rock. He's holding his aim on that spot by using his mini mouth around. Oh, he hit one! He hit him right up the rear. He was moving his mouth to one side. He actually held down his right hand mouse button and then moved the aim point to one side. Okay, 2 good targets to fire up there. It's still nil, and a Skoda T25. And again, he didn't let us see what actually happened to the shell. it's not helpful that you do this because, as I say, if you don't let the viewers see what actually goes on in the battle, we just won't record it because there's no point. There's nothing for them to look at. Well, that shot hit the rear of an Oni. Again, I think you're in the wrong spot. You need to be a little further over to the east if you're going to get good shots on those, because the bushes get in the way. And the rocks, of course, are getting in the way as well. He needs to be further over to the right. I think the rocks won't be in the way. Ramps out. Hits the IS-3. It looks like most of the enemy heavy tanks decided to go down this lane instead of the normal route over on the east side of the map. And as a consequence, they've all congregated near the entrance to the village. It's turned into a mass battle around about this corner, and he's firing into the enemy's rear, which actually is quite interesting, because there's nothing they can do about his shells coming in and hitting them. Okay, get some damage. You could probably wipe out the a couple of those tanks. He came very close there to knocking out the Udas, who has gone now. The Oni is a one-shot, the TNH is a one-shot, the IS-3 is a one-shot, the Eagle 7's a one-shot. Virtually all of these tanks could die with one round. The TNH survived only by the skin of his teeth because he's only got 98 hit points left. He just saw the IS-3 go through. He's got 17 hit points. The Oni's going to take... Yeah, it looks like he could do it with one shot. The IS-3's down. Okay, can he get the TNH? No, because it hits the rocks instead. As I say, you need to be further to the east to get a good shot. Those rocks get in the way. He's now hiding. He's got that Stura Mill some distance away, dialing in. Here we go. And he dies almost immediately from the budgie. Skoda, can we get a shot into him? Rounds up. Doesn't let us see it again. And we don't know what happened to that shell. It could have gone wildly astray. We've been noticing a lot of inaccuracy on the Arty recently, and we think that Wargaming have been adding in extra nerfs to Arty because they've noticed that most Arty players have acclimatized to the reduction in the accuracy and the reduction in the power, but are still getting good results. And of course that means that the tank players are now complaining again that Arty is as big a problem as it ever was before. And so Wargaming is introducing Arty nerfs to try and throw off the accuracy. I've noticed many times that my shells don't go where I want them to go. Well, that one hit the rear of the Skoda, so that one was a good shot. There's only one enemy left, it's the TNH, and we know he's low on hit points. I don't think that Citron's going to get a shot from here. No, he's just not in the right spot. You need to be further to the east. That's the only way you're going to get a shot into that corridor, unless of course you get close. I think that's what he's decided to do. Get closer. Now you need to go down there, all the way down there. The Lorraine is emptying his cannon into that TNH. That's better. You could get a shot from here if the Lorraine backs up. He's got those wrecks behind him. There, you've got him. Yes! Got him at the expense of stunning his teammate, but it didn't matter because that was the last kill of the game. Well, here's the end of battle results, and that one was an ace tanker game for Citron01 in the M44. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 9 in this one. He got a Gauze medal because he did more damage, exceeding 10 times the hit points, so it's actually 8 times according to the book, according to the wiki. 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle, as well as Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And yes, I think the fact that you're getting Ace, Gauze and Confederate, probably the reason why Wargaming is nerfing Arty so much. Simply because we're getting so good with the reduced damage that, yes, they're finding a lot of complaints coming their way. Okay, let's have a look at the team score for this one. Well, we can see he didn't get the highest damage in this game. That went to that TNH right at the end, 3,823 hit points. That was the guy he killed the last one. The second highest damage was to the TNH on our own team with 2,818. And third on damage was Citron01, who managed to get 2,523. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between the Budgie and the TNH. Both had 3 kills each, as well as the SU-152. And 2 kills went to Citron01, the Viz44 and the Skoda T25 on the enemy team. When it came to base XP though, it was Citron01 who did the best with 1,181, enough for an ace tanker, 933 to the SU-152 and 910 went to the TNH. He fired 17 rounds in this game, got 10 direct hits, 1 penetration on the enemy. I'm pretty certain that that penetrating shot was the one that wiped out the... which one was it? It was the T78, yes, obviously. And yes, it does have a pen here. It does say 1, and so that was the one that he penned. 22 splash on the enemy as well, 2,523 hit points, of which 2,425 were at more than 300 meters. So that TNH that he killed right at the end was at fairly close range. He did receive a hit. It was from that T3485, and it did pen him. And he lost some hit points in that, but luckily the enemy Arty was more interested in going after the enemy tanks than he was in taking him out. 8 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 1,119 hit points of stun assist off 20 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 36,058 credits, got 16,226 from battle payments, a total of 70,313 credits altogether, and after repair and ammunition resupply, he took away a profit of 60,744 credits altogether. 1,181 XP times 4 for the first victory on this occasion, 7,088 experience points altogether. So yes, he hasn't lost his skill, but I would question sometimes where he actually looks away too quickly after shooting. And also I would say you need to be a little further over to the east when you're shooting from the southern spawn, because that will give you the whole of that road next to the village entrance to shoot at. Plus, of course, if the enemy is hiding on the ramp at the far end, you can lob the shells over the ramp into them. So it's rather inconvenient for them if they're actually doing that. On North Spawn, obviously, you want to hit the tanks at the other end of the road, so you want to be further to the east for that as well. But the further east you are, the more likely you could be spotted. I wouldn't actually use that position myself, although I could see it was giving you good results. It wasn't totally convenient in this battle, and of course it did get you spotted. So well done to Citron01. He's got his 3rd mark and he's now putting into practice and getting good results. Just please let us see what actually happens with these shells when you fire them at the enemy, mainly because we want to see the damage and we want to see if the shell goes astray and how much it goes astray by, because obviously we want to know if Wargaming is nerfing us, and we think they are. If you enjoyed those replays, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.